Welcome to Inspire, a series brought to you by Finverse, the financial universe. I bring you some lovely people as usual. Today I've got with me Sweta Jain. She's a YouTuber and she's also a teacher of cost and management accounting. She's going to tell you about her life and how she inspired a lot of students in her time. How are you, Sweta?
I'm very good. How are you, Vishal?
Sweta, I have to say that I'm inspired that you're a teacher first.
Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much. You're also a chartered accountant.
Yes.
But why choose teaching as a profession?
So this all started when I was preparing for my CA inter classes. So we had various subjects, and that is when the faculty who was teaching us cost and management accounting, he was just amazing. So it is that time I decided that this is what I want to be in my life. And
you were inspired by a teacher?
By a teacher, yes. So that is when I thought that, yes, I want to take it forward. I want to start teaching. And that is when I got that the passion towards teaching. So after that, becoming a CA was also with the motive that I want to continue teaching. And later on, I also liked other subjects, but cost and management accounting is something which is there in my nerves.
Okay, talk about your childhood a bit. You mentioned earlier that your father traveled around a lot. You had to move around a lot. So you would have had many friends in many places.
Yes, absolutely.
Did that shape you as a person?
So interestingly, whenever I used to, I've stayed many places, many metro cities, even in boarding school all over India. So interestingly, whenever I used to leave one place, one school, I always used to cry and tell my father that why do I have to leave friends? But eventually, when you grow up, you know that you have so many friends, you have so many people, you know so many people. When you go back to any part of India, any part of the country, you have people around you. So this was obviously very, very, very important. And I think it was just unintentionally that my nature also became or I developed it in such a way that I can get along with anyone. So that is because of this, the way I changed the schools, the way I changed the people whom I get along, and that made me really strong.
Great. I think communications is a very important aspect of life. We'll get into that. I want to personally ask you, you know, when you had a dad who said you have to take care of your own career.
Right.
Right. And I think that is very important for most of the BCom students or finance students out there.
Correct.
Who typically come from middle class families. And rightly so, their parents will tell them that, look, you have to now go find a job.
Right.
And this is the root of the problem where kids find themselves being unemployed or unemployable. Why do BCom students have that fear? You know, I want to bring this out. Is it because of communications itself? Is it because of curriculum? Or is it because of something else?
Basically, first thought that the BCom students have, which I feel is completely wrong, is that if you don't do some professional course together with BCom, then you're nowhere.
Yes, that's the thought. So, everyone thinks have to do something.
Yes, you have to either do CA or CS or CMA or some of the other courses you have to do along with BCom. So that is one problem which I feel. The second problem is once they get into this feeling that if we don't do any professional courses, we won't get to a better job, they start taking things lightly. So whenever you teach in a BCom class, they come with a mentality that theek hai, matlab this is okay, like okay, we are learning this, I'm just doing it. The kind of passion that you will see in students when they are in a professional course and when they are in a BCom course is quite different. However, if you take BCom very seriously, you get good marks. And I have seen people that they go to MNCs, they go out in the world and they really do wonders. One more very, very important thing which any BCom graduate or a BCom undergraduate should be doing is together with their studies. As you rightly said, communication is a very, very big problem these days. So what they need to do is they need to get along like in various extracurricular activities that are there. I have been also, various times I have been in the admission processes as well, interview processes. And I have seen n number of students where the competition level is so high that either they are state level champions or national level champions. So there is one chunk of students who are always left behind.
I agree.
Yeah, it's like a rat race. So I think confidence, communication, your general knowledge, all these are very, very important factors which any bachelor degree students should take along with their course as well.
Okay. In our time, we didn't have something called startups, especially last 5
Right.
years. Suddenly, there's an explosion of startups, and I keep telling BCom students that why can't you work in startups?
Correct.
And my concern is most of these BCom people say that there are no requirements in finance, but I beg to disagree with them because, like you said, opportunities are available.
Yes.
Do you think we need a curriculum that works with industry closely, especially for the BCom students?
Yes, as you said that we need to bring the industry experience together with the BCom course. I think this is a major thing which is missing in many universities or many courses, where I think there should be an integration of compulsory market researches, compulsory of project reports, and internship articleships together with BCom.
Absolutely, and become analysts.
Right,
Yes.
become analyst, and that also give them, see, when you are a student, when you are in your 19, 20, that time making mistakes is okay. But when you become a graduate and you go out in the world to actually earn money, that time making mistakes is actually blunders. So let them make mistakes during their internship, during their articleships, during their project reports. So they become very confident when they go out in the world as graduates.
Okay.
So integrating these factors together with any kind of bachelor degree is very, very important.
You're a cost and management accounting teacher.
Right.
You're at the Christ University.
Yes.
How do you blend this into your students? One is the communication skills. The other one
Correct.
is, do you actively encourage your students saying that, look, I teach you cost and management accounting, but you can apply this in industry as well. I'd appreciate it if you can tell students listening in, where does cost and management accounting apply? They may be in the first or second years. It's just not about passing. It's also about applying this.
Absolutely.
Can you tell us about what they do in your class? Do you interact with them often and tell them work with startups? Also, that would be appreciated.
Right. You have various jobs where, or in fact, MNCs generally take analysts.
Correct.
Now, who are these analysts? Analysts are the people who are actually analyzing your financials, analyzing your budgets as well as your actuals. What is your budgets? Who prepare the budgets? These are the cost accountants.
Absolutely.
These are the people who have been dealing with the cost of the product, etc. So once, until and unless you know what is a cost, what are the different kind of cost, which industry you are going you going to a service industry, are you going to a goods industry, until and unless you know the theoretical knowledge of it, you can't apply it as an analyst. It's not only about analysis, but there are various times when I have got calls from my students who have been working with MNCs. Ma'am, can you please tell us what we did in standard costing? How did we apply that formula? Because I have a real time experience of that. Or how do you calculate the cost? Ma'am, can you help us with this? So it is not that it is only theoretical. It comes to your practical aspect, whether you are a chartered accountant, whether you are financial analyst there, or you are an accountant. In all these areas, cost accounting will never leave you.
Okay. One advice to industry, perhaps as an academician yourself. I'm a BCom student myself, but when you look at the finance universe or the business universe, you have engineers who graduate and take MBA.
Correct.
And they come back as analysts.
Right.
And therefore putting the BCom student at risk because they think the engineer is more analytical than the BCom or BBA student. What are your thought processes in that regard? You must have been observing this trend too.
Right. So, first thing is, again, it is all about the thought. So we need to, the BCom students or the BCom faculties or the world as such needs to remove this, the degrading the BCom or the bachelor degrees and bringing up the other master's degree above it. It is for just as a example I would like to give that there are many MNCs which are now not taking degrees. They are not
they
collecting
don't
your
recognize
degrees. They don't recognize it. They are taking your interviews, they are taking your test and then giving you jobs. Big industry, big MNCs are doing that. They don't want your degrees anymore. So even if you have not done a college, you don't have a college degree, you can still get a job. So it's all about your knowledge. So the students need to remove this from their mind that, oh, I am just a bachelor. How will I go and face the world? How will I face the engineers? How will I face the MBAs? And moreover, what you need to focus on is your basics needs to be strong. Your communication needs to be strong, which is very, very important. And you need to build yourself in such a way that you can face the world with confidence. Confidence is very, very important.
What do you mean by confidence in terms of your knowledge, in terms of presenting to MNCs that I'm better than an MBA?
Right. So, confidence comes with the right knowledge that you have. And how do you build right knowledge? You build the right knowledge by studying your basics, making your basics strong, understanding the basics, and also by building on those basics.
What are those basics? If you can advise us from your cost and management accounting perspective, there are basics to them too.
Yes.
You're saying have a good foundation there.
Very, very important.
What are they?
So, like for example, when we are talking about cost and management accounting, we make students understand what, like you can take any product.
Okay.
I teach the whole cost accounting with the help of a duster.
Oh, brilliant. So you're saying, think about it in terms of what product the industry wants. Pick up chairs, for example.
Correct.
So what's the cost of manufacturing?
What would be the cost? How will you reduce it? It's not only about calculating the cost of a product, but when you are into a job, they will ask you how to reduce the cost also.
Absolutely.
How do I fight with my competitors? So all these are very, very important. So it's not only that and to understand how to reduce the cost, you need to know what costs are there.
Yes.
Right? How do you deal with those costs? Absolutely. So these things are very important, and you need to understand the students themselves. See, we are teachers. We teach what the theory says. We try to bring in the practical aspect, but eventually the thinking has to be done by the student.
Absolutely.
They have to understand how this is coming into the practical life.
Is it because in many of our families, we don't discuss money very openly? We look at ourselves as just job seekers and not thinkers. Job seekers are somebody who follow rules and don't take the initiative. I may be judgmental here, forgive me, ladies and gentlemen listening in, but I'm talking just from a foundational perspective. Initiatives are very important. But like you said, students must be interested. That's the initiative, right?
Right.
How do they prepare themselves to that level? How you advise communications? You advise learning the basics.
Correct.
But do you think you also advise industry participation? Right. But in the end of the day, we can lead the horse to the water, but they have to drink it.
Right.
Is there something missing? Is there something that BCom students are missing in this journey?
I think when you're talking about the family and the way the family communicates to the students is the seriousness has to come from the parents itself. Okay. The seriousness of not from the parents, the guardians, the teachers, everyone. They have to bring in this seriousness. There are places outside our country where becoming a becoming a graduate is a very big thing.
Like America. They celebrate.
Right,
I don't think a lot of the Americans graduate.
They don't graduate because their parents don't support it. Yes. So if they are going on their own, or even if their parents are supporting it, becoming a graduate is a very, very big thing there.
Yes, I agree.
For us, BCom and
just a role.
It's just a role. Yeah.
And hence the other side. For example, I meet a lot of people in the finance world coming from the engineering side who think people take BCom because they have nothing else to do. I disagree with them. In fact,
I'll tell you, in some of the cases, especially in case of girls, BCom is like a marriage degree.
Tell me about that. That's sad.
I'm seriously telling you, BCom or any kind of bachelor degree, what they do is actually a marriage degree, because people don't, or men don't marry undergraduates.
Yes, that's another trend.
Yes, absolutely.
That's a trend that stayed long enough. It has to go. That's exactly. There's so many societal problems. And,
correct.
And one is, I also want to talk about women, right? The girl students who do BCom.
Right.
They have a beautiful career ahead also.
Absolutely. So, whenever I'm in class, I always tell the women. In fact, I tell my family members as well. The kind of respect that a learned women will get in the family. It's not only about the society. In the family, from your husband, from your in-laws, from your parents, is far more important than anything else, and is far more appreciable, or more than a person who is not learned so much. So for girls, education is very, very important, and I think the trend is changing. It's not that the trend is not changing. Now parents are making their girl child study, and we all know the proven fact that girls are always much more serious, much more studious. Yes. So I remember the passing percentage in my university was different for girls and boys. So the boys' percentage is lower than the girls' percentage.
I was about to say that.
Yeah. So
But
girls,
they don't continue through the journey, the girls, right? They give up at some point.
Right,
Which is
at
also
some
okay.
point.
We'll talk about that.
Yes, that is okay, but that should be their personal choice.
Yes, agreed.
That should be their personal choice. There's no harm in becoming a housewife, or in fact,
Yes.
sorry for that word, homemaker. I would say a homemaker.
That's fine, but yeah, you're right. Let the society not shame you. Your choices are your choices.
Absolutely.
And be happy with that.
Yes, absolutely. So you can be, but in fact, I would like to tell what my mother used to tell me. She used to tell, there's no problem in you becoming a homemaker. There's no problem in you going out and working. You do whatever you want to. But even if you want to be a homemaker, you have to study.
Absolutely.
Because if a woman studies, there is a whole lot of family members behind you who are studying.
Yeah.
There's a family who's learning. Whereas if a man studies, a man studies. So it is very important for women to pursue career, to do. In fact, I'm always in favor of women working out as well. But there's absolutely no problem in working at home also.
Yeah, it's because you bring in the security, sensitivity.
Absolutely.
Right. I think that's very important, and balance. You've been a homemaker, career maker yourself.
Correct.
Right? It's interesting you balance the two. How do you do it?
So many people ask me that you have cleared CA in the first attempt.
Yes.
And my score was also very good. I could have easily got an MNC job then, or any job in any of the industries, large companies. Why didn't I go for the 9-to-5 job? So I always tell them that obviously first was my passion towards teaching. Second thing, there needs to be a balance in life, whether it is your family life, plus your career, your children. Everyone needs a balance. Your passion, your travel, everything needs to be a balance, and everyone should get time. When your family needs you, you should not be stopped by the work that you have.
Yeah.
Plus, your family should be supportive towards your work also.
Yeah.
So to balance all these things, I think it's my personal choice that I did not want to go for a 9-to-5 job. But I wanted to always spend some time on my career, spend some time with my kids, because once they grow up, I will not get this age again.
Yeah.
So with my kids, I want to spend time with my family, with my husband, with my mom, dad. I want to travel the world. With all these things, I think 9-to-5 job would have restricted me on doing that. That is why it's my personal choice that I did not want to do it.
You know, money is an essential thing, but you say it's not
Absolutely.
everything.
Right. It's not everything. Money is important, but giving time to your family, to yourself, to your passion, towards travel, to know more people is more important.
And also empathy towards others.
Right. So it is what you can have, like, it's not about just growing the child. The child will grow on their own. But the kind of connect that a child will have with their parents is only at a very small age. If you don't give them time now, you can't expect their time when they grow up.
And you said something interesting again. You said your father said you have to earn on your own after degree.
Yes.
After the degree.
Yes.
And you want to do the same to your children. I want to put it on record. So let me see it 10 years from now and ask you, Mom, did you really say that?
Absolutely. I don't want to leave a lot of bank balance for them. I want to spend my money on myself and, of course, my husband and everyone. It is my duty because I got them to the world, me and my husband. So it is our duty to take care of them, to give them good education, to fulfill their needs till the time they are standing on it. But I am not going to leave any money for them so that they enjoy their life once we cannot. So till the time I am healthy, I want to, and there was one more point interestingly I would like to bring in. Once after my delivery of my child, there were many people who said, now you concentrate on the family, stay at home, spend time with the family. After maybe 3 years or 4 years, you can start working once your child grows up. I never stopped working, because at some point of time, my child will not require that much attention from me. That time, I don't want to tell my child that I left my career because of you. No, I never did any compromise with my life because of my child. That was all my choices that I did. And that is why I continued my career, because I don't want to fall into that trap that once when they are busy.
Very fair.
Yeah, so
Very fair.
I want to live my life, and I don't want to be a burden on anyone.
Very well said.
Yes.
Your life as a YouTuber, you also became a YouTuber.
Yes.
How's that panning out for you? Ladies and gentlemen, so follow Tax Seeko,
Right.
which is what she runs. It's
Thank you so much.
effective advice on how do you frame your taxes or pay your taxes, or at least understand the tax system. How did that get started? It's getting close to 10,000 subscribers now.
Yes.
How did you manage that?
So, Tax Seeko was always a dream. And this dream came up during the pandemic times. So, that time, a lot of traveling time was saved. And that time, I thought that let us have something which I can bring my knowledge out and help the people who are in the world who doesn't have much knowledge. As you said, engineers, MBAs, etc. They might have, but most of them does not have knowledge about taxations.
Absolutely.
So,
there's only two truths in life: death and taxes. Absolutely. And they don't have knowledge of taxes.
Right. So there is a passion towards teaching. So I know how to teach.
Correct.
I know my concepts. I know how to put forth my concepts. So there has to be a channel through which I can reach to people. So that is why if you see the tagline of Tax Seeko is learn, then you learn, apply and save. You learn from us, apply it on your own and save your taxes. We are not telling you that save your taxes by all wrong ways and all, but learn what is the right thing. We tell you in very simple way, in very simple language, so that even a layman can understand. And that if we are able to put forth in front of a person, in front of an engineer who has zero knowledge about tax, then my work is done.
I think you've already achieved that. You've already convinced me to follow your channel. So ladies and gentlemen, this is Sweta Jain. Of course, I'm going to steal a line from her. Learn, apply and prosper. Download Finverse.app and get to know more about finance. But yes, do follow her on YouTube. It's Tax Seeko. You can learn, apply and save. Saving money from taxes is something that we all have to do. And obviously, write to me, guys, to know more about Sweta. She'll also answer questions on your behalf. If you have any, write to them on the channel itself. And we're going to get you to answer some more questions.
Sure.
So thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Vishal, for calling me. So please, guys, do like Finverse, and thank you so much, Vishal. It was a pleasure being here.
Thanks for your kindness. By the way, I'm Vishal Krishna signing off. Thank you.